There you go. Hey guys, how you doing? All right, where are we? Here we are. It is 9 o'clock. It's a few minutes after 9 on September 24th. My name is John Peasy, and welcome to Cool Crap We Love, the stuff that we grew up with from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And if you're young, the 90s and 80s, and if you're old, the 50s and 60s. If you're in the middle, good for you. Hey, by the way, we have a special guest tonight, too, which we're looking forward to have come on, Chris Roach, who we're going to see a little later. But first, and thank you all for coming in and saying that. We're a little bit later tonight. Usually we start around 8, but we're starting at 9 tonight because I had other things pop up, really important things. So let's get on our way. Hi, everyone. And here's my partner in crime, the guy who we do the show with. Of course, you may all know him. His name is Walt Leo Pop. Walt Leo Pop. And here he is.
Works for me. Works for me, Johnny.
Dyslexic.
So, something suddenly came up, Marsha Brady. That's what happened.
Marsha Brady?
Life happens.
Uh-huh.
Life happens, and John Peasy answered the call tonight.
Everything happens. There's always stuff going on here. And, we always try to come up with unique different things every week. And there's so many things we haven't explored yet, right? How many things have we? And tonight is more of a general show.
It's a general show. Things that we grew up with. And it could be anything. Could be anything.
And we want to know from other people. We want to know from other people what they want to hear.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. If Daniel Miller wants to talk about Tootsie Pops, that's about the only thing we're not going to talk about.
Speaking of Daniel Miller, he has a little Tootsie Pop. So, and I hope it's black for his sake.
And also, what we're trying to do tonight is trying to get ourselves a sponsor. And I got the perfect sponsor for us tonight. Want to know who it is?
Tootsie Pop.
Who it is? I bought a new set of golf club.
Well, what is that golf club?
This is called Bomb Tech.
Bomb
Tech. Yeah, I bought the wedges and I bought the clubs, and I never golfed better.
Hold that up anyway. Again. Let me see that.
Hang on. Let me see if I can get to it. There you go. Look at that. Bomb Tech Golf.
Wow.
This is a 52 wedge, which is to shoot closer to the green. This is the pitching wedge. Look at how cool that looks, man.
Wow. And where do you get these from?
We get those from bombtechgolf.com. So, Sully, when you see this, we want you on board.
Okay. I like the name Sully. Reminds me of television.
Sully Sullivan.
So let's get into it tonight, Mr. Walt. So, like I said, tonight is more of a general night because sometimes we do themes. By the way, in the future, we have some really good themes coming up. We're going to do shows on just one thing. Like, for instance,
one thing.
I Dream a Genie. Just one show on I Dream a Genie.
We're going to try to get Barbara Eden. I want to get Barbara Eden here.
The Honeymooners.
Honeymooners would be a great show. Batman would be a great show.
But we could do multiple shows on just some of those themes, actually. Because
it would be awesome. But tonight, we're broadening our horizons.
Yes. And tonight we have what?
Well, listen, we things that we grew up with that we don't use now. That's what what it is. We got a bunch of pictures. I got to tell you, I got a couple things that I pulled out before the show.
Hey, please don't tell me about what you pulled out.
I pulled out. So you know what these are, right?
It's kind of a little glare on it, but let's see. Ace Frehley. Oh, there they are, like little mini discs.
No, it's called cassettes, John. These are cassettes.
I couldn't see. They look much bigger in your chubby hands.
Look at that.
There you go.
Cassettes.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So this is what I used to put in my car. We used to drive around. Frehley's Comet. There you go, Ace Frehley. There's a light.
Wow, yeah. I love Ace
Frehley.
So
we had cassettes. So for you kids out there that aren't watching this and that might watch this, this is the same thing as a compact disc, only with tape. But you probably don't even know what a compact disc is. So I actually hate you.
Actually, the first concert I ever went to was Kiss at the Garden.
Oh, they're awesome.
I had front row seats, and I remember them breaking the cars and throwing in the order. I was dying to grab that guitar. It was great, blowing fire and all that. It was awesome time.
Pieces of it, right? That's awesome.
Back in the day, yeah.
And then even before that, what did we have before that?
Before cassette tapes? Oh, 45s. Actually, first they were 45s, and then they were albums that were larger, right? First,
45. So the 45 was the song that came off of the album. Look at that. What is that called? Which one is that?
Charlie Brown.
By the Coasters. Charlie Brown by the Coasters.
When you show me that album, the first thing I think of is our sponsor should be Deep Vein Thrombosis.
Yes. Or what was it? The Ron Popeil.
Oh,
And
yeah, we did a
I
whole
even
show on
pulled
Ron
out.
Popeil.
Now, if you remember, they all came in this. You went to Two Guys or you went to Great Eastern and you bought your record like this. But
Yeah.
sometimes they came like this. And they had the whole thing. And this one I pulled out for you because it's so many men, so little time.
Please do not ever say you pulled anything out for me.
So I pulled that one out for you. So records were they don't play anymore. But these are what we had when we were younger.
They were, and I got a couple here that you gave me today.
Hang on, I'm not done. I'm not done.
You have more. Oh, and there's
I'm
more.
not done.
Oh, go
when
ahead.
you went to school, when you went to high school, Johnny,
Yeah,
right? You went to
I
high
never
school.
went into high school, but I was there. Okay.
You were there. At the end of high school, what do you have? Your yearbook. You get your yearbook and
Yes.
people to sign it.
Yep.
But at the end of grammar school, what did you get?
I don't remember.
It's a little messed up. It's a little messed up, but it's the autograph book.
Oh yeah, the autograph book. Holy,
you remember this?
Is that your autograph book?
I still got my autograph book.
Why is it all blank? No one liked you?
Nobody liked me.
Wait a minute, that blank page. Wait, I see. That's the other page. Yeah, that blank page.
This is the cover. Oh, somebody wrote on it though.
No, that side, but the other side there's nothing in there. But I oh, there it is. You know what that is?
That's what?
No, that's a polar bear in the snow drinking milk. I could see it right there.
It's plain as day. Plain as day. So I still have my 8th grade autograph book.
Man, you keep all the old stuff.
I keep everything. And then before you were able to watch TV on your phone.
What about VD? Did you keep that?
I kept that. That never goes away. I had this. The Watchmen.
You know, it's funny. I have one of these. I think I still have a brown one here somewhere like that.
This was a TV.
It doesn't really
watch TV on it.
Now?
No, there's no such thing as signal that goes anymore.
Yeah.
But I used to take this and play softball and watch my Met games. This is how I did it. Not on my phone, on this.
I had
this
one.
This little baby cost $179.
Big bucks back in the day.
Big bucks in the day.
Bucks. No
Christmas
whammy.
present. Thank you, Ma.
Watchman. Wow.
A Watchman. Anyway, now you could bring up those other ones. My props are done. Did I tell you about Sully and the golf clubs? I told you.
Dan Nav said Walt wrote to himself in that book.
I did. On the front page, I did.
From your girlfriend.
I wrote to myself.
Yeah, Pamela. Oh, I love you the best. You're the greatest, Pamela. And then meanwhile, you're like, it's really Walt.
No, there was a girl in here named Pamela that told me she wanted her pajamas next to her nightie.
Pajamas. Oh, PJs.
There's a little rhyme thing there.
The first one up here.
Go ahead.
And I have one of these in the next room. Still.
What is it?
I have one of these in the next room. I actually have it, and it works functionally fine. And I have everything that goes with it. And I have on there some things that are not viewable by young people. That's how.
What? A VCR. A top load VCR.
But you see, that's the VCR. I have a Betamax.
Well, I was going to bring the Betamax on, but those were relevant out on the West Coast, where the VCR was relevant here on the East Coast. But you never saw a video store that rented out Betamax tapes. They always rented out VCR.
But Betamax's was the first one that came out commercially.
Yes.
And immediately following that, within the next year, VCR, VHS came out, and VHS went crazy. It went nuts. But I have, like, in the next room, a Betamax, and I have these little smaller Betamax tapes that fit in there, which exactly like those, except smaller and a little thicker. And I have on there, like Debbie Does Ballast, 1974 or something on one. I have a bunch of tapes that, like I said, young people couldn't watch. They're that old.
I have VCR tapes on an entire wall over here that my father owned a video store. When he closed it, I took them all.
You owned a video store? Really?
My father owned a video store, yeah, like one of those mom and pop video stores. So I took all of the stand-up comedy, all the comedy movies, all the stuff like that. But that VCR back then, I bet you that VCR cost about $3,000.
Well, it depends on when you bought it. It went from $3,000 to $300 to $79. But you know what's interesting too about that? Every comic in the '80s was doing the jokes about what?
I don't know.
Well, the blinking
2000s.
No, the blinking light.
Oh, the blinking light. Yeah, when the electric went off.
No, even when the electric was on, nobody could program the thing to do what you wanted. It was always
Right.
just sitting there blinking for years. And like, especially older people, they would buy the VHS tape thing and they were like, it would just sit there and blink on next to your television. And
Yeah.
and you couldn't program it to like say, I wanted to tape at 6 to 7 o'clock. It was like very intricate at the time in order to do that. Not now.
You know what?
back then.
You know when that VCR came into play? I swear to God,
Mhm.
when Y2K came, year 2000,
That's 2000. This is before
they
that.
said to you for your VCR, because that's all everybody was worried about. How's my VCR going to work? They told you to set the date back to 1972,
Yeah.
and it would have been the same exact schedule as 2000.
This was a real, and then on that VHS was something, there was a button on there that you press on and off. It said VHS TV. Remember that?
Yeah, well, you'd put you have to press the V8. You'd have your TV on if you
channel
wanted to
3.
watch TV, channel
Channel
3.
3. Always had to go to channel 3 for some strange reason.
Channel 3, and there was no remote control on that. All that was
Not in the beginning.
Pause and play. A big long string that went to the couch.
And then later on, it just grew. Yeah, this is like a strange memory already. Now we have DVRs and all. And look, by the way, if you look at that picture, you'll notice in the back of it, you'll see the RCA cables. I think they're called RCAs, or they're called component video, those little round, which is another interesting thing. Now we have, so many different connections. Then we went to Super Video, and then we went from Super Video to now we have HDMI and tomorrow, and everything's wireless.
Pretty soon they're just going to put it in a chip. You just put it in your head, and you see the movie.
And people are looking at us right now, going, "Who are these two old?"
Who are these?
Talking about this silly
Who
crap.
are these old people? What did Sully is from Munson? That's right. That was John Goodman played Sully.
And Super 8. That's right. Super 8. I do remember those too. Before that, I didn't have one, but I had a friend of mine that had one, which is really pretty cool. Yeah.
And if you remember the big disc, what was it? The
laser
disc, right?
Laser disc. That was big for a long time, and that was expensive stuff too compared to that. And the people that had them tried to get as many as they can. And then right after that came out was satellite television. People are getting channels in from all over the world and stuff. Remember all that? They had these big things chained to their roofs and yards. Those big satellite.
Well, I got some antennas on there. It's fun stuff.
All right, we spent a lot of time on VHS. Off.
A lot of fun.
Here's a fun thing too.
You remember this?
Basic.
It's
basic.
This is the club.
The club.
It costs like $24.
Right.
You put it on your steering wheel so nobody could. They could start your car and they could destroy your car, but they couldn't drive it because the club wouldn't let the wheel turn.
Exactly. And it's a good weapon too. You have a club.
Yeah, the club, but it used to fall apart.
I never had one.
You never had one?
No, but it was very popular. And also, along with this being popular, were those stupid things that you put in your windshield so that the sun doesn't burn when you get in the car.
I was going to do that, but you can buy those now.
Yeah, but it's still kind of dumb. And then after that, in the 80s came out that stupid baby.
The reflector.
Remember the baby reflector. On board, too? The sign, baby on board. The yellow
baby on board. Yeah, we did that. That was that was garbage, too. The club, though. Yeah, the club. $24.99 saves your car. Yeah, he's right. That's my brother Brian. We used to, back in the day, my father had some cash, so he bought the VCR that was about $3,000, and then he bought that projection TV with the red, yellow, and blue light.
I had one. Yeah. And those they were jets. And if one went out, the TV was like $3,000. One of those jets. I remember I had a guy come in. He go, "You want to buy new jets?" And of course, $2,000. Like the whole TV's $3,000. He goes, "Oh, the jets." Right. $1,800.
Yeah. And if you walked in front of it, your silhouette went on the TV.
That's right.
And big,
it's funny you bring this because I just had my daughter's friends come here in my basement and throw those out.
Yeah, you can't get rid of them. They're
huge, and it basically hollow. There's not much. 3 jets and a screen. There's not a lot going on.
No, but it was. I remember my mother invited people over to watch the Pope. The Pope was coming to the United States. She had like the priests, all the priests, because we had the big TV.
Wow.
Mom, yeah, everybody's coming over to watch the Pope. You throw some good parties, Ma.
Speaking of TVs, how about this baby? I had one of these when I was a kid growing up in Brooklyn.
So did we.
And it had the Victrola on one corner.
Yep. And the stereo on the other.
And the TV built into that wooden cabinet.
Yep.
And that was real. I bet this looks so familiar. This could have been my living room as a kid. I remember seeing I remember watching.
Dude, the best part of that was, and I don't even know if that happened, but I know mine, the doors closed.
Yeah.
And you closed the TV in there, and they had like the
I think
it was like screen.
Yeah, it's inserted. Like the TV's inserted into the cabinet.
And you had to look that, and it was cool because that's when kids used to lay on the floor with a pillow and watch TV.
And watch TV like this. Yeah.
Right.
And your mother would say, hey, you're going to hurt your eyes. Don't sit so close to the television.
So close.
And I used to go, it's not this hurt my. I used to go right up to the television so I could see every little dot. This is not hurting my eyes at all. Now I'm half blind.
Now I got contacts and I got to wear glasses over my contacts.
And I thought I was going blind from different things.
Yeah, you were. Actually, you were.
Why is this guy David giving us a link? What is it? Vietnam condoms sold. I got to look at this link later, David.
All right, we'll look at it later, David. But thank you for being non-helpful.
Charlie Fisher, transistor radios. That's true. Another big thing.
I think I put one on there, transistor radio.
Let's take a look and see. Let's see.
Bob Rumba. What'd Rumba give? He's nuts.
What did Rumba give us? Actually, Rumba. I'm going back. A flying driving car with sticker magnet on board.
Fly driving a car with a sticker maggot. It's a maggot, not magnet.
Yeah, maggot on
board.
I don't remember what that means.
All right, Bob. It's a little weird.
That one. There's Daniel Miller. Hey, Daniel Miller looks that with the glasses, the checkered shirt. He looks like he time traveled from the 80s.
Yes, I think he does it on purpose for us.
And
yeah, but that TV was the bomb, and the only thing that's missing from that TV that I had was my mother had a red statue of a matador and a bull. I have no idea. We're not Mexican.
Funny, it's funny too, though. I remember this. So my mom had a green couch that was knit, like thick knit, and it was purple. One time it was purple. One time it was green. He had. I remember red carpeting, and I remember too that was very popular. That deep dark red.
Yeah, a red matador and a bull.
Yeah, I had that in my house too.
Yeah,
that was like the early 70s. That was that was in.
It's probably worth like $4,000 right now.
Isn't that when like Elvis velvet paintings became popular too back?
Yeah, I had one of those.
Speaking of, there's another television. There's another one. Look at that one.
Yeah, that's that with the rabbit ears. I did the rabbit ears, but yeah, that was the Ralph Cramden TV.
Yeah. Hello.
We're gonna watch Captain Video.
Yeah. It's funny, the TV thing. I remember too. This is nonsensical, makes no sense here, but I do remember my father putting on his wig in the bathroom, which was adjacent to that television that opens up with the sides in there, singing "Michelle, My Belle" from the Beatles while he's putting tape on his wig in the bathroom.
John, that's like family secrets at this point.
What secrets? The guy had a wig. He wore a wig. He lost his hair. A young man. He put on the wig, and back in those days,
your father wore a wig?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. A toupee.
At what age?
I don't know. He lost it really young.
Yeah, but that means you're going to probably lose it.
No, he lost it when he was 20. I'm like 3 times his age.
Oh, all right.
I'll just make
a big forehead, though.
Yeah, I have a very high forehead. Yes, but I have a lot of pubic hair left that I can inject. I'm good.
Yeah, just put a little wig there, like a strip of wig.
I'm going to shave my eyebrows and just move them
just
all
move them up a little bit.
Yeah, that's all. But yeah, I remember him singing "Michelle, My Belle," which, by the way, is silly because that's how old that was. That must have been early 70s sometime, and that was playing on that Victrola, I think it was called.
Yeah. You could put one record played on the spinning, and then you could put like 5 records on top that a little arm held.
Yeah.
And then after it was done, it would let one down. But if you put too many records up top, all of them would fall.
And you also remember in the 45s had the little round plastic piece that you put in there so it would fit in a smaller over the thing.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We don't even know his name.
We're 2 old fools here right now. We're old fools.
Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't have that piece that went in the circle part, if the circle part here had a piece that went in. But if you didn't have that, you had like a pointy stick that came up. You needed the adapter.
And that pointy stick had a little piece that pressed in and out, like with the spring.
That's what let the record come down.
Make it come down, yeah. Now, we've spoken about this before.
The pet rock.
I think we did. Have we not?
I don't think we did. But that was things that went back then. Everybody had to have a pet rock.
Yeah, it was very strange the way it all began like that. And by the way, I see you, Chris. We hear you. You're there. We're going to pull you in a little while. Move your head. Say like, yes, Chris. He's there and he looks good. He knows.
He's in the green room.
He has good internet. He's like a man in Egypt right now.
Good. A lot of people don't know about that pet rock, though.
What do you mean?
That years ago, Paul Bond used to rescue pet rocks.
I had no idea.
Yes. Now he rescues cats, but back then he used to rescue pet rocks. And there was a GoFundMe page for the pet rock.
Now he's doing all that Republican. He may have to rescue his career. He's losing half of his audience right now. Anyway, this pet rock was a really weird phenomenon. People go out and spend $5 for a rock in a box. And by the way, whoever came up with this idea and marketed it was brilliant. This is the same time that they had Whammo and they had the wonderful hula hoops and the Whammo slip and slide and all that silly, great stuff.
You know what's funny about that? I never bought into it, but I did go outside, find a rock, and put it in a shoebox. And I had the same thing as everybody else.
Boy, look at you, shrewd little young Walt.
Right? I was selling them for $2.
There you go. Walt, yeah, you don't call it the pet rock. It's the rock. There you go. And it's $2.
Yeah, I called the pet granite.
I came out with the pet turd, but it didn't go very far.
No, that was cool shit, though.
Yeah, it was very hot. It got flushed. So this one here, this. I'm glad you brought this thing up. Tick 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 tick.
Isn't that great?
This was so big. This was when I was a kid. This was huge. Huge. It was huge. Huge. Yeah.
It was huge. We bought it in China.
And we used to blow up a little round balloon and put that on there too. The balloon made a different kind of beat.
Oh, really?
What do you mean, really? You don't remember that?
I didn't do a balloon. I would think that the spokes would break the balloon.
No. This baseball card thing made a really good tick, 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 tick as it went through. And you tried to go really fast to make the sound stronger.
Yeah.
Then if you took one of those little party balloons, and I'm not talking about, the big ones. I'm talking like, it's called like a 4-inch. It's like a small balloon, and you blew it up to its extent and tied it off the same way. When it made like a deeper.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it sounded like it didn't sound like the card. And the thing with the card that used to drive me nuts was that after you started doing a little bit, it would get bent up a little bit and it wouldn't hit the tick, 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 and you had to turn it around so you could start getting the tick.
Yeah, you had like a new baseball card. But this idiot here, if I'm not mistaken, that's probably a Mickey Mantle baseball card he used, and it's probably worth a fortune.
Yeah, that guy ruined his card and ate the gum. As a matter of fact, I remember buying like 3 packages of this stuff and like taking all the gum and just sticking them out. You just wanted the cards so you could put them on your thing. That was
huge.
What else was big at those times? You know what else is big? Banana seat.
Yeah, banana seat.
The banana.
So 2 people could sit on it.
Yeah.
You had the regular seat and then you had the banana seat. Yeah.
Or the testicle crusher, whatever you want to call it first. I remember that, the banana seat. And also there was a little bell, and girls used to have a basket on the front of their bike.
I never understood why a boy's bike had that bar across it and a girl's bike didn't. Because if the boy fell on the bike and missed the pedal,
you're absolutely right.
I heard a lot of things.
That's almost like, why is there, why is there 10 hot dogs?
Why is there no bar on a girl's bike?
Only 8 rolls come in the pack and there's 10 hot dogs. I don't understand.
Why did they do that? Because you know how many times I've missed a pedal?
Yeah, that's very true. I used to think about that too. There must be a reason, though.
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it hurts a girl too. It's going to hurt a girl too. It's going to hurt a guy a lot more.
It's got a lot more space to go into than it does for us.
Yeah, right.
Kind of.
Like a cat. It's got like a cavity it can go into.
We should Google that and find out. That doesn't make any sense. There's no sense.
Yeah. I always had a problem with that. There's another part with a bike on there that I put on there that if you can find it, it's awesome. You would never think that somebody would even be thinking about it.
Now, David Merles was puncture the top of a Coca-Cola bottle with a hammer and nail so you drank through a tiny hole. I never did that, Dave. That's...
Yeah. What's the thrill of drinking through a tiny hole?
I don't ask your wife. Because in the old days, women's wore long dresses. Okay, thank you, Charlie. That makes sense.
All right.
That actually, that does make sense. Damn, I never thought about
Because
that.
it would right when they're driving it, it would. All right, Charlie Fisher.
And David says it's
Yeah.
a southern thing. It was a southern. By
It
the way,
would push it up. It would push
I was
all right,
talking-
I'll buy that. Still hurt though.
I was talking to Rumber the other day, and I think I mentioned this to you. I wanted to bring it up. I want to do it. Maybe I'll do it on the air next week. But he mentioned, by the way, tomorrow's Bar Rumba's birthday. Happy birthday, Mr.
Happy
Bar
birthday, Rumba.
Rumba. So he's mentioned it to me, and I faintly remember this about taking the Lando Lakes box. And there's a woman, she's holding the butter like this in front of her chest. And there's a way that you cut it underneath the chest and cut the bottom and you fold the box. And it looks like her boobs are coming out. I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to cut this.
Right. It pushes butter out of the boobs or no?
Well, that's what I'd like to see, but I'm not sure.
Right.
Did we buy sea monkeys? You're damn right I had sea monkeys.
That was episode 1. Thanks for checking in, David Merlin.
He's behind on our episode.
Yeah.
Episode
Why don't you just friend us on Facebook and go and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and you know all about sea monkeys.
No, Dave, hit us up on our other social medias. Like
yes.
Yeah. What is the first one they came out with that everyone was all over? That's dead now. Social media, the one.
Oh, MySpace.
Yeah, hit us up on MySpace.
Hit us up on MySpace. I'm still friends with Tom.
Oh, that's hilarious. Why do you both think you sound like? Oh, we sound like I don't know. We don't sound like.
Why not?
Zare. I like that name, Zare. It sounds like a structural integrity. Yeah, thank you. Hey, more importantly, this is something else I wanted to pull up as far as these pictures are concerned. Now, you didn't give me this one, but I pulled it up myself anyway because my mom had one of these cars when I was a kid.
I gave you that.
Oh, you did? Okay, then I have another one that I brought up. Okay.
That's an AMC Pacer. That was the Glassmobile.
Yeah, and they say it was dangerous, right?
That car was the most. Look. People bought that.
And what happened when you got into a car accident? You had glass all over you.
Yeah, glass. You were pulling glass out of your body well into your 70s if you got in a car accident in the 20s.
Who thought of that? What? Just think of it. There's a guy.
AMC.
There's a guy. Who's AMC? They're gone a long time ago, right? AMC.
Yeah, that was the worst car.
And here's a picture of me and you. I'm the guy.
Remember these Underoos? These came out in 1970s. I had a double check. 1977 Underoos.
Underoos. Wow.
There's dudes. They're still around, I think, but there were dudes who, like guys, that wore Superman costumes to bed.
Is it me or she has hairy legs underneath there?
I don't know.
Okay.
Why are you gonna ruin it for me, man?
No, not ruin it. I'm also starting to notice as I look more into the crotch area of this woman, it looks a little puffy. Then again, it was the 70s, so kind of makes sense.
This is 1977, bro. You better pull out that Betamax.
I got a bunch more. I got so many more as I want to buzz through here, but it's at the 30-minute mark already. And didn't we promise we'd be bringing Mr. Roach around now?
Let's bring in Roach and he'll talk about them with us.
Yeah, he could talk about with us. That would be wonderful. Oh, this guy goes, I had a DeLorean. My father had one also. He was a car dealer. And that DeLorean was a big hunk of crap, big, heavy, and then Gremlin. Thank you, Charlie. The Gremlin. You're right.
Hey, who's the guy who had the DeLorean? Who had the DeLorean?
My father had a DeLorean. And this guy had one. Who was it? This guy's name is David First.
Hey, David First, do me a favor. Get in the DeLorean. Go back to like January and convince me and John not to do this show.
Yeah, there you go. Good one. Let's bring it. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Christopher Roach is a fast rising comedian actor born in and raised in New York, born in Russia.
I knew it. I
don't know what his ethnicity is, but he's
collusion in the comedy world.
Yeah. He has brought his unique and self-depreciating humor to some of the biggest stages in the country, such as the Gotham Comedy Club, the Comic Strip Live, New York City, the Regatta in Atlantic City, and the Paramount in Huntington. He recently toured the opening act on Kevin James' 2019 tour all over the Northeast. He's known for his major reoccurring role on Mott in the hit CBS sitcom Kevin Can Wait. And he's also appeared and numerous other episodes, both comedies and dramas. And he's also created a viral video mode to his beloved hometown, Ronkonkoma.
Ronkonkoma to Kokomo, I think it is. To the song
I've been in Ronkonkoma, exit 62 on the LIE. And he also apparently hosts 2 weekly podcasts, which I was unfamiliar about. But that's great. Now we could go.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
Thank you. He never got invited, but here he is. Mr. Christopher Roach. There he is. And I'm going to move him to the middle.
I'm trying to move myself. There you go. Oh,
check this out. Whoa. There you go.
Hey. Move him in the middle.
He looks very red. He looks like he should be on the Land O'Lakes butter. He's very red.
Am I red? Hold on. I could change my hue.
Oh, you have a filter? Oh, now you. Oh, whoa! Look at this guy. Now he's purple. He's an Oompa.
That's awesome, man. The lighting. He's got some lighting over there.
You looking good. That's perfect. That's good. You look good.
Okay. You look good.
And I like the Princess Leia around the ears too. I like that.
Thanks.
How are you, Chris? How are you, Chris?
Doing good, guys. Good to see you both.
Hey.
Alive.
Right?
Alive.
At this age.
I had to. I quickly ran to my box of toys over here. I had to quickly. No, I'm unfortunately I didn't get to watch any of your episodes yet, but I don't know if you guys covered this one.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Squirmel. Why do you even have that?
Somebody bought it for me.
Great. Great. And you know
we did with Squirmels, man. We love those.
We played the video too of it, which we should.
Oh, I had it. I'll never forget. For first grade, I had it for show and tell. I brought it in for show and tell.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Oh, love it. Love it.
One.
What was that? You write on it?
No, was that your right magnet? You had to put the. Hold on. You had to put the beard on his face. You know, with the.
Hey, Chris, look right here. Same.
That's it. Yeah.
Same idea.
Oh, great. Yeah. So you had to put his beard on his face.
Loved it.
But you know, you're in your car and your father hits a bump and all the beard comes flying off.
No.
All your hard work down the drain.
The beer flies all over it.
I think this was like a magnetic pen, and you were able to drag, onto his face very carefully, but you had to hold it like, flat.
Betty. You know what else was like that? The Etch-a-Sketch was like that too. You go through the whole thing and just shake it all up and it's all over again.
Another thing I started collecting, there's supposed to be a movie coming out in 2021. It was a toys that came out called the Micronauts. And this is the time travel. This is from the 80s.
Micronauts. This is kind of like it's like faintly familiar.
I don't remember it.
It came out in the 80s. What was the company, the toy company that's no longer? Mego. 1976 Mego. And
I don't know it.
I really should have researched it because there's so much. From what I understand, there was like Star Wars and there was Micronauts, and one of them was going to get bought by whoever, and Star Wars won, and that's why we don't know about Micronauts.
Chris, this is so fun. You're just as silly as we are. We're just as stupid.
Chris bet all the money on the Micronauts.
And there's a vintage comic book series I'm trying to get.
See that he's a big. See, we're all big kids in the end. You just always.
Yes. Oh.
Now, if you don't mind, how old are you?
52.
Okay, so it's like you grew up in the late 60s, early 70s kind of period.
70s is my
right with us.
Some of my fondest memories of the 70s.
Yeah, really cool memories. Let me. Can we bring a few things up here? Tell us to remember this. This is a classic. I'm sure you did.
Sure. Oh, the Invisible Dog. I was just talking about that recently. I was just talking about those huge cranes, which a lot of these things that were such big crazes, they after like 5 minutes, you're like, oh god.
Yeah, look at this. There's a half a dozen people there all trying to vie for one bone.
They're at an invisible dog park.
What about Pet Rock?
I know this exact same scene with the invisible BJ. Did you ever see that one?
Oh,
I still have that.
Yeah.
Waiting for mine.
and these were popular. These were hanging in stores all over the place.
Very popular. Very popular.
You know where they were really popular? If you remember, John, you would know this. Down the Jersey Shore on the boardwalk. You would win them, and people would be walking all over the Seaside Heights boardwalk with these invisible dogs. And everybody's like, where'd you get that? And then everybody was going to get one.
And that was the same time as that stupid Pet Rock.
Oh, yeah. Pet Rock was right? You guys a genius.
Yeah, genius is right.
I had the Pet Granite, Chris.
Boom.
Oof. Twister.
Twister.
I don't know if I ever played that game.
Yeah, you're too big for that.
Yeah, it was too awkward and lanky.
That's how my wife got inseminated with my first child.
Really?
Playing Twister, Naked Twister.
Naked Twister. Look at that. Look at the size on that guy.
It had such a huge spinner because you had to reach and
It was actually,
if you had nobody to spin for you, you know.
but I remember as a kid, you wanted to play Twister with the girls because you were able to touch them and like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, like, all right. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I had right hand, left vagina.
Right.
That happens.
How about this baby?
The Walkman.
All right, how big was that? Come on.
I'm telling you, this is what you put in there.
And I remember when this technology came out, you thought that there was never going to be anything after it. Like the Walkman was going to be for the rest of eternity. We were all going to be listening to Walkmans.
Then the Discman came out.
And the Discman came out, which was even bigger. It was like you had this pizza pie in you.
But what made this really big, if you remember back, the thing that really kicked this up, I think it was the girl who sang Physical, Olivia Newton-John.
Was she roller skating in that video?
I think so.
That was Xanadu.
Xanadu.
But this is what blew it up. And then people would go to the gyms and the girls were wearing those like pull-up stockings up and they were wearing the tights and they wore like a bodysuit and they would put this thing on and they would do an aerobic class. Everything was aerobics. It was big.
And you can hear it. You could hear whatever they were listening to because all there was a little puffy styrofoam thing on their ears. It wasn't even in their ears. It was on their ears.
Yeah, but then they came out with better ones where you could like click a button and you had like the highs come out and it was like little things.
Yeah, Bose.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't far from Bose.
Next, you know, we had those Nanos were a few years back. Those little,
the little Nanos and then the iPods. I still have a classic iPod.
I can't, I could never work out with earbuds in my ears because I sweating and
it pops out.
My arms are flailing. I'm hitting the buds out.
Yeah, I put solid things in my ears also. How about this? Well, that's the in order to get the reception.
I did that because you got a better signal with the aluminum foil on the radios.
You did. I do remember doing that. I do. Actually. Yeah. Now, this is something that you don't see anymore either. I should have put Brian over there because I keep covering his face.
Yeah, why don't cover Walt's face?
Yeah, it's called cover Walt's face for a little while. There you go.
Oof. You know something, John? My oldest, I knew I used to work at this, I used to manage adult stores on Long Island.
Really?
But yeah, I went from the NYPD to managing adult stores. That's another.
With both hands or one? You actually, when you say adult, so you mean people that sell, all those videos?
We like to call them high-end adult boutiques.
Okay.
They were built trying to get the women to come in and close to the man. What was it? Sell to women close to the man, whatever.
Wait a minute. Let me just back up a second. Who was coming into these stores and what kind? I would like to see. I would just sit there all day. And just watch.
Men and women would go in.
The whole thing, we tried to make it as less filthy as possible. We made the front of the store look like Victoria's Secret. The middle of the store kind of resembled a Spencer's Gifts. And then as you went to the back of the room, you saw like the,
Did you have the booth and stuff, like a booth?
So
you went to the back. You said,
no booth. Thank God, no booths.
Oh, no booth. You got the hydrating machine.
Oh, that's great. Oh, wow. But I knew where because we had one time we had 5 stores on Long Island. I knew where every payphone was that you could pull up to in your car and just reach out and dial. Because I would get beeped I want to have my beeper. I would get beeped to the stores all the time with the employees had questions or there was a problem. And I knew, okay, I'm on the southern state. I know if I go 2 more exits, there's a gas station where I can pull right up and I don't have to get out of my car. I can just pull it,
And a payphone.
Had alcohol wipes in my car.
But there was no peep booth or videos you could watch there.
No, they tried that. We had a store in Valley Stream once where they tried that, and it was horrible. It attracted a different kind of clientele that scared away the women, which is what we wanted.
You're trying to get both, because I would imagine just sitting there watching people going in a peep show booth places must be hilarious to watch. Like, what kind of people do you see going in there?
And they're all looking like
as much as we cleaned it up, there was still deviants that came in.
Right. Oh, yeah. And who was cleaning up peep booths?
That's how we met Chris Monty.
Any peep booth?
Yes. In hole number 4.
Yeah.
In Glory Hole number 4, I met Chris Monty.
And so, do you remember these? Do you remember these payphones?
They started with 10 cents a call. It was 10 cents a call.
There was one by the 7-Eleven by my house where we hung out as kids. And sometimes the operator would call you back if somebody had a call and ran over, and they'd say, "Oh, you owe us like 25 cents." Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See ya.
That's true. I forgot all about that, actually.
I would call you back and tell you owe them 10 cents.
I used to call a girl in Brooklyn, and my mother didn't want me to use the phone in the house because that was long distance. So I had to get a bunch of change, and I used to have to go down to the payphone by the firehouse and just put nickels in there, and it would just keep asking you for money.
Yeah.
I can see Walt as a kid. So what are you wearing?
Please deposit 15 cents.
You know, it's funny too. There was a guy who. This is interesting. When I was a kid, like in the high school, these payphones. This guy gave me. This guy was like always good at getting over on things. So he used to give me this thing that I would actually be able to put into the phone. It's on a wire that could go in and like ching 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 and make it look like you were putting quarters in, and it would sound like it, and I would make all the calls I want for free. Later on, they got rid of that.
Oh,
and he gave me a little digital thing that you put on the phone, go beep, 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 and it makes it think that it came through. And I used to get free phone calls.
Just like the guys that would take the dollar bill and put tape on it, and when the machine took the dollar, they yanked the dollar back out. I've always been fascinated with the criminal mind.
Me too.
I told you this story before with pinball. We drilled a hole through a quarter and put fishing line on it. You drop the quarter in, registers the game, you pull the quarter right back out again.
Yes. Then there was, remember slugs?
Yeah.
They were around.
Slugs.
And I told Walt before, we used to take, I think it was, I don't know if it was nickels or quarters at the time, but we used to go in the street and like squeeze them all down until we made them into a smaller one to fit into a machine.
Yeah.
Just like shave them.
Yeah, yeah.
Like free candy. I don't know if we were shaving the slugs or maybe, I think we took pennies and turned them into dimes. I think that's kind of what
I think if you shave down a quarter, if somehow it came back out, didn't it register the credit and maybe came back out? I don't know. I vaguely remember doing something like that.
I think we used to take pennies and go in the street and just keep shaving them square and then round them off and then go put them in the machine and get like gum.
Yeah, we used to shave down dimes to make pennies.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Wait, I got to show you guys one more thing from the Micronaut collection. This is the Hero. This is the Force Commander. Now, the big thing about the Micronaut collection is that the parts were interchangeable. So, like, everything is like magnet. You could, like, rip off the leg on this guy. You could pull off his legs and put him on a horse they had. You know, his head came off. They shot stuff out, but the magnets don't work that good anymore because they're like 50 years old.
Kind of like my first date. When you hold it, just hold it further back because I think you can see it better when you hold it. Yeah, it looks clear.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks even clearer. I'm not familiar with this though, Chris. I never heard
the Micronauts. No,
I read that they're trying to bring it back and make a movie because it was one of these things that was supposed to pop on the scene with like movies and everything, but Star Wars really just took over and that was it. But hold on, there it is.
Gee, I hope that happens for you, Chris, because you got the marking on everything from the movie.
His hand used to shoot. I don't know if it still shoots. So I never tried. Oh.
You got it excited, Chris. Nice job.
It still works after since 1976. Is his little hand.
Yeah, well, so does mine.
I got to thank Chris though because he did research.
He's prepared.
I'm prepared. I wish
He's definitely prepared. Here's another one we have here. Candid camera.
Oh, Alan Fund, was it?
Alan Fund. Well,
yeah. We thought it would be funny.
Yeah. And then Fund took over.
You know, it was even better when Joe Piscopo did him on SNL.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
We secretly heated this fork up to like 100,000 degrees. You see the fork is beet red, and they put it into the cake, and the guy eats it. He's like, "Oh my god!" And Alan Fund had that walk when he came out, that like he's gonna fall down laughing.
Yeah, he did like that, right?
Joe Piscopo did so good. Joe Piscopo did so good; it was hysterical.
For some reason, when this stuff Son took over the show, it didn't seem the same.
No.
It didn't look like either of these guys really did have a good sense of humor to begin with.
That's his son?
That's his son. Yeah.
Wow.
Fund Jr.
To be honest, I thought that was Gavin McLeod from The Love Boat.
String being Stubing.
How about this baby?
Oh, I took a marketing class once. I think I took 3 college courses, and they said that New Coke was the biggest marketing disaster in U.S. history.
Yeah. And they went back to old Coke.
Because, New Coke, they were trying to compete with the sweeter taste of Pepsi.
Yeah. And I stopped drinking Coke. Yeah, I stopped drinking Coke, but they went back to the classic Coke, and they probably sold twice as much.
I just stopped drinking Coke like a week ago because I'm pre-diabetic, and I love soda, so I got to cut it out.
Getting off sodas.
My first guy, he knows I love Coca-Cola, so he got me one of those personalized ones when I was on Kevin's show. It says Mott.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Mott.
That's who got you that, Kevin?
This is Anthony DiDomenico. You know Anthony?
Oh yeah, Anthony. I know Anthony. Anthony. How much weight did Anthony lose?
He's over 200 pounds.
200. The guy weighed over 4, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to guess, but there was that story about John Panette at the Montreal Comedy Festival.
No.
I heard it was Don Mairera. John Panette lost all this weight, and I heard Don Mairera was going around saying to other comics, "Did you see John Panette? He must have lost 40, 50 minutes."
That's hilarious.
I rest his soul.
But the new Coke was that was something that happened when we were kids.
Root Coke. One of my favorite sodas was Ramblin' Root Beer.
You know what? Root beer is great with vanilla ice cream. Fruit beer and vanilla ice cream is like the bomb.
I had Dr. Brown's root beer tonight.
Did you really? I haven't had any. I'm trying not to eat that much sugar, man. I'm like,
me either.
It's a thing. Since we haven't been working and
I know
the depression's kicking in, so we're trying to medicate with sugar.
Yeah. You want to hear? This is so bad. So I'm working last night, Woodlock Pines, right? I was there last week, and there's a place on the way there called Dale's, and it's got the greatest fried chicken, wings, and all. It's great. And I got to eat healthy. So I sit on that line, I'm waiting, I walk in Dale's, it's just before you get to Pennsylvania, Milford, and I'm in there, and I see on the shelf, as I'm looking up the shelf, there's a box, and it's like, I think they used to call them maybe Malamators. They're like short pieces of like marshmallows with a little Malamars.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said. Malamars are back, Chris, because Malamars stop around.
They come out now.
They stop March, April, and they come out around now because of the weather. I guess it melts the chocolate. So I was in the supermarket last week and I saw Malamars, and I bought a couple boxes for my dad, and because he loves them too.
You go into ShopRite, they have an entire display of Malamars.
Yes.
Well, this is a different brand. This was a different brand.
Oh,
I have them upstairs. Nobody even knows I have them. But I was there the week before and I saw them. I was like, oh, I love that. I said, I know it's going to happen. I'm going to buy those and I'm going to be driving home from this gig and I'm going to eat that whole entire box. So I'm not going to do it. And I didn't get the chicken wings. I got a grilled chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and I left. So I go back.
You look good though, John. You look good.
Yeah, thank you. I go back yesterday. And I'm sitting there. I didn't get the chicken. I got the grilled chicken sandwich again. And I'm looking at that damn box. And I'm like, I'm just going to get one box and bring it home. And I'm not going to eat it in the car. And those are upstairs in my garage. Nobody knows in my house that they're there. But tonight, I'm hitting a couple of those.
Yeah, now no one knows.
Malamars,
always watching my show.
I think Malamars, like Oreos, are one of those cookies that they're that much better when you put them in the refrigerator. Oh,
yeah. Cold. Yeah, I think. What was the other one we used to put in the refrigerator? Was long, and you have to crack it and breaks into pieces with marshmallows.
Charleston Chew was the freezer.
It was awesome.
Charleston Chew. They make mini chews now.
Boston Chews. In fact, you have to change the name. You can't say Boston. It's politically incorrect. You got to make it.
Charleston.
Dude, actually kicking around for a while. I was kicking around doing a junk food podcast. We should do a junk food episode.
Love junk food.
Me too. I'm a connoisseur.
Yeah, me too. As a matter of fact, junk food is my hobby.
I love it.
Here we go. How about this, baby? Party lines. Remember those?
Oh, the commercials, right?
Yeah.
$3.99 a minute, and you can talk to somebody on the phone. You just get into it. You're like, oh yeah, what's your phone number? And then you get disconnected because you didn't have another $3.99.
It's so stupid that you think about it now.
But there's like they say, there's a sucker born every minute. You know how many people were probably calling it? Hello.
Oh yeah. Gene Trifolo is still trying to call it.
Gene Trifolo. One naked picture of himself.
How about these babies? Now this is classic.
Playboy.
The reason I brought that up is because it's got the plastic wrapping around it.
Yeah, like you really need it. You need the plastic wrapping when you get done with it.
Yeah, but you couldn't go in a candy store and just open it up like you could a wrestling magazine.
Right.
It was sealed.
It was COVID friendly.
I never knew this till we used to sell them at the adult stores, the adult boutiques. Is that the maybe a lot of people may not know is that the Playboy Bunny logo is hidden in every cover.
Ah.
Sometimes it's so obvious. It could be, or sometimes it could be like in his shirt where it's like just the way the shirt is wrinkled. But if you look close, you'll find
it's in the eye of Walt. I see it in his eye.
Walt's
right here. Right here.
Yeah,
like, sometimes it's so obvious, but sometimes the girl's hair could be like wavy, and all of a sudden you look and
I forgot about that. You're right, Chris. I forgot all about that.
I didn't know it. But I picked that. There was a whole bunch of magazines I could have picked. I picked the one that had Donald Trump, our president, on it.
That's what you're now, right?
Let's see. Moving along. Here we go. That's what you brought up earlier, and that's what we used to use to roll them back, right, Walt?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another crazy, silly thing.
So if it went out of whack, you took a pen and you put it in here and you spun it. You get it back to where it's back.
Also, when it used to break, used to pull out both pieces, get a very thin piece of tape, and get nice and close, and put that little tape piece on it, and it would just kind of skip through it.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be like Benny and that.
Yeah, right.
It was like something from the devil, and it kept going.
Everybody thought there was devil worship on the Beatles albums. It wasn't. It was tape.
Yeah.
They taped it together.
Now this is another weird thing, huh?
What the heck?
Flip phone.
That's a flip phone. Yeah.
My father still has that.
I still have it.
David Tell has still one.
My dad, there was that email. I posted something on my Facebook account. You probably saw it. It's like a joke post where I just got the new vaccine that Russia sent over. Blah blah blah. There are no.
Oh, I put that up.
Yeah, there are no side effects, and all of a sudden your typing turns to Russian letters.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I didn't see that. So I sent it to my father 2 days ago, but the Russian letters came out of just squares on his phone, just squares. So he thought I went and took this he took it seriously. He called me up like panicking. What'd you do? I'm like, Dad, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Yeah, you see, because he has a flip phone, he's not getting the characters correct.
He didn't get the joke because the whole punchline was the English to Russian transition.
But little do you know that he could speak ASCII. Here's something
back
else.
In Minsk. He was something back in Minsk.
Remember this in the school?
Oh yeah, the maps.
The maps, flat maps on a board like that.
Now they got a whiteboard. They tell it what to put up, and it puts it up just from the voice command.
Do they even do cursive anymore? Do they do script, or is that like an old language?
I think they went back to it.
It's Aramaic
do
now.
they?
It's like Aramaic.
Yeah, right. Don't do that. It's racist.
Two thumbs.
Grandpa, show them how you can write in script.
Right? You take a girl back, you're like, I can write in script.
Now, Walt, you put this up here, and when I saw it, I was like, wow, I forgot all about that. This remind you of the very late 80s, early 90s when you had a computer.
Oh, yeah, the screensaver.
But that screensaver was huge. That was like, look, I got a 3D thing moving. It was a big thing.
That's like the original screensaver.
Yeah.
Well, no, the original one of the best ones was the fish tank. Remember the fish tank with everything?
Right, yeah.
Screensaver. That's when they used to have.
I didn't give you that one. You did that one, though.
Did I pull this up?
Yeah.
Okay. How about this, baby? This is when I pulled this up too. This is when you would buy VHS tape, and it came in two actual.
It was so long. It was so long.
Yeah.
It was a double. I think I even have that.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Whoa. Well, you really have that? The Titanic?
I think I do. The double Titanic, the double Gone with the Wind, and a double Godfather.
And a double pair of panties.
All right. And I'm a double. I got my ass kicked double.
And a double chin. Now, how about these?
Oh, yes. Wow.
Oh, the Disney movies?
But
sing-alongs, right?
Yeah, you sing along and read along with the book. That was like a big thing when we were kids, little things. Another thing I was thinking about, remember we went to camp as a kid? You ever go to camp?
No, I never went.
No.
Walt, you didn't go to camp either? Your parents liked you.
I had a built-in pool in my backyard. It was a camp.
When you were a kid?
Fun, but we were like, for camp, my parents would kick us out of the house and we weren't allowed back in until dinner.
Yeah. Until when? When the lights came on outside.
No end. My mom would say, like, Mom, I gotta pee. No end.
No end. I remember in the summertime in camp, and the kids were doing this silly stuff. All the girls are doing this stuff.
Yeah, what was that?
It was called lanyards.
Oh, lanyards. Well, they make them now.
At first, I thought those were Chinese handcuffs.
Yes,
no, that was popular too. But those lanyards, they used to take all these different colors, long strings, and do certain ways to weave them into like keychains, and they had strings that would hang at the end. You put it in your pocket with your key, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Girls like are really into that stuff. You know, that was like a really big thing.
I like the Chinese handcuffs though, where you put the fingers in there, you couldn't get them out.
Sometimes I go on Pinterest and I'll lay in bed if I can't sleep for like an hour just looking at stuff like that. It just pops up.
Pinterest, cool stuff. You know, if you lay in bed long enough, other things will pop up.
Yeah.
Here's something, Walt. Did you have this?
I didn't do it.
Is that color forms? What is that?
No, this is just like one of those stupid like little houses that has, you know, it's all open that you can move things around in it.
Oh, it wasn't one of those things where you press it and it sounds like a mechanical voice.
It's a talking family dollhouse. Yeah, you.
Oh, there you go.
Our conversations change as we move from room to room.
I used to love the smell of color forms.
Me too. Smell
crayons.
I don't know.
Nice box of crayons.
Oh, fresh box of crayons. Nice.
How'd you say that, Chris?
Nice.
No, before that.
Fresh box of crayons. Nice.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I used to get slapped in the head by the teachers. They used to say, "It's not crayons, it's crayons," and they used to slap me in the head.
Crayons.
I used to say, "Oh, I wanted a fresh box of crayons."
You know how you knew that your parents had money back then? When you bought a box of crayons, if it had the crayon sharpener on the back of the box.
But that one was always the big box with 100 crayons.
Right? 128 crayons.
All the different colors. And you always end up using the like certain ones over and over a lot, and the other ones are like never used at all, like the burgundy.
Yeah, gold. Would you ever use gold? Gold and silver.
Yeah. You know, speaking of the smell of things, I was thinking about this today. Do you remember? I went to kid. There was a thing before Xerox. They came out with. They used to make photocopies in school, and they used to use
a stenograph or something.
Everyone smell them.
No, what's it called?
Remember getting them in class and they were still warm?
And you smelled them? It was like brewing.
What was that? Wasn't it like that purple piece of paper that they put in the
Yeah.
But what was that? It was a stenograph.
It was like some of them had a handle where they, you know.
Yeah, you push it through the machine. First there was, I have to go make a Xerox, came out later, and there was mimeograph. And it was something of the name. I forgot the name.
And the paper used to come out a little moist also.
It was kind of like delicious.
Little damp.
Yeah. What the hell
was the teacher turned on the overhead projector and it was time to take a nap.
Oh God, school is so weird, boy. Such a weird. What about these? All right, we did those. And how about this one here? This my mom had this.
So your mom was a creepy lady?
No. Actually, my mom rode a motorcycle too.
Wow.
She had a 75cc Honda Cherry Apple Red that I ended up learning how to ride later on. My mom was a piano teacher, but this I remember she had 1970. She had a van. It was blue. It was just like that. It was like a 1970 van, and we used to get in the van.
Have like couches in the back or no?
No, it was just it was popular back then, and also popular back then was this.
I was going to bring that up, the VW.
Yeah, I would say we should do a show one day on just the cars of this. There's so many.
Dude, I gave you a picture about the bicycles. Do you remember riding a bike and your pant leg would get caught in the chain?
Yes.
What did you do? Either tucked it in your sock or you put a rubber band around your leg to hold from getting caught in there. I sent you a picture of it.
I don't remember that, but I do remember getting my thing caught. And yeah, I do remember.
Wheel it out.
Yeah. Now they put chain guards on there. Back then they didn't.
The girl's bike had like a divot in the bar that between the legs, you know, ours went straight across.
We talked about that before.
Yeah, what was that about? Why was there a divot?
We found out the answer.
We found out the answer that you want to know. I have it here in the chat if you like to see. It came from let's see.
Charlie Fisher.
Charlie Fisher.
We were wondering why the bar would go across for the guys because they had so much to lose from missing a pedal. With the girls, you know, we should have had the bike with no bar. But now we know why there was no bar in the women's.
Do you guys remember the Concorde plane? Did it fly by with you guys in Jersey?
Yeah.
It was a big thing as a kid. When it went overhead past us, we were like, "Hey, it's the Concorde!"
It had like a little nose that went down.
Yeah, and I was driving my bike. And I'm like, "Hey, it's the Concorde!" And I missed the pedal, and I hit that bar. My 10-year-old beanbag got split right in half.
I do remember that.
So the reason the girls don't have a bar there is because years ago they used to wear dresses. When they couldn't ride it with the dresses on.
I never understood that.
Until tonight, we didn't know until Charlie Fisher brought it. But Charlie's older than us, so he remembers when he used to wear a dress that back in those days.
Now you never know who's going to wear a dress.
Yeah,
or kilt.
When your nuts want to sleep.
Oh, God.
The Concorde. You remember the second airport movie was the Concorde. The Concorde went into the ocean.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Airport 77, the Concorde.
We got a hello all the way from Ireland again. I remember some of those things you're talking about. I didn't know that they had in Ireland all the same things that we had. I guess they did.
My motherland.
Yeah. Are you Irish?
Ancestry DNA. I always thought I was half Irish. I'm 85%.
Well, I did my DNA too. Boy, it was really bizarre when I found out all the things that was in there.
I think southwestern Ireland.
I still have my 23andMe test upstairs. I haven't done it yet. I'm afraid to find out.
Don't do it.
I'm afraid to find out.
Don't do it. Don't give them your DNA, Walt. Don't do it.
I'm not doing it, man.
If I could change it again, I would not do it.
I have a bit in my act now about it. I'm like, I found out I'm 5% Jewish, European Jewish. I'm like, it kind of made sense because I would say once every 18.25 days, I'm just like, eh.
I'm surprised you didn't do a dick joke out of that. I was like waiting for it. Waiting for those to cry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send them DNA, but it's not gonna be spit.
What are you gonna give them?
They want a lot of spit. 9 innings of sputum.
I don't know. If I could do it again, I wouldn't do it. But now that I have done it, there's a company that comes out. They have that
you're in the database.
Yeah, you're in the database. You give them your information, and what they do is they tell you what you're supposed to eat for your body type. In other words, they look at your blood and your heritage, and they say, "All right, you got to eat all meat. You got to eat all vegetables. You shouldn't eat white bread." And they give a breakdown what's good for your body to stay maintained strong, lean, and mean. Which I don't know if that's BS or not, but I'm going to pay the $30 and give it a try. I'm already in it.
You know what they also know now? They also know your blood type. And if they need your kidney or not.
What do you mean if they need your kidney?
Well, let's put it this way: if it's a company and they sell kidneys, where they're taking care of that population of kidney people, they know that John Peasy's blood type, and now they send somebody to take your kidney and put you in a tub of ice.
That'll be great. This way, now I'll be getting calls like more solicitations like, "Hi, please do not hang up. This is very important. You have a kidney that we need."
No, they're not going to tell you. They're just going to come take it.
They also they've made arrests based on and like if you are convicted of a crime, they'll see if anybody related to you to the ancestry DNA, and if it matches up, that's enough. That's probable. It's enough to bring you in.
Speaking of DNA and arrest, I was just thinking about this today. I keep hearing all of these things about the Boy Scouts that they're giving millions of dollars away. I just wished I was raped as a Boy Scout.
Why do I always get that? Because those commercials on my phone. I'm
getting them constantly. I tell you what. Why don't you and Walt were the counselors. I was the one who raped, and we'll split $500,000 apiece. What do you think?
Why? How come I can't be the one that got raped?
Okay, you be the one that got raped.
When you guys are big and burly, it makes sense.
Right. Chris will be the top. Okay.
This show just went off.
We just lost everybody
off the record player.
But they're doing it. They have millions of dollars to give away for Boy Scouts that were molested.
Yeah, they got molested.
Millions of dollars to give away
on my Facebook feed,
and priests as well. And that and Milo Feasleoma or whatever the hell that other stuff is.
Mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma. Yeah. All that.
Did you eat insulation in the last 30 years? I'm like, oh.
No, not the last 30.
So what is this, John? What is this test you're talking about?
It's just basically if you've already done 23andMe or one of the other 3 tests that they have out, it's on record. So you give them your file number with the record and you send it to this company, and this company will take that information, pull out your chart of that information, and then it tests your body for what's good for your body to eat to stay healthy. Because, like, for instance, like some people could eat a lot of meat and it's good for them body because they have that carnivore diet. And some people should be vegetarian because meat makes them inflamed. And other people get like, like can eat bread, eat gluten, and there's different intolerances for different blood types and different behaviors of the body.
I want to try it.
I mean,
Chris, you can eat anything.
I'm inflamed.
You're inflamed?
Well, I think inflammation is like the cause of everything.
Put the Malamata down.
Put it down. Put down the Melamars.
Mela. I'm going to send you a picture of that box I have in my garage tonight. I'm going to send you both
Empty.
the lab.
You got any more pictures for us?
I think I'm out of pictures, and I think we're out of time. We're at an hour and 6.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's horrible. We've gone through it, and I haven't had a chance to even really have a good conversation with Chris and you, Walt.
Oh, wait a minute. Before we let Chris go, you got to show him that internet picture.
The internet picture?
Yeah, the one when you brought up his bio.
Explain this to us, please, Chris. So I'm looking up your bio. I'm wondering what's going on with you. I'm like, what's going on? And then I said, wait a minute, this is really strange. I'm going to share my screen. No, not that screen, this screen. So you're going to be able to see my screen. Okay, so let me make this a little bit larger.
Okay. I know.
All right. Do you know where I'm going with this?
That guy's headshot?
Who the hell is this guy?
I'll tell you who he is. I never met the guy, but I just recently hired somebody to correct this. Somebody that's savvy with Wikipedia and Google. He is a Christopher Roach from Rochester, New York, who is a producer of reality shows, and even our IMBDs are getting merged. Really? So so when it says here, comedian, actor, boy, is this all your, and this cutting edge entertainment? Is that you? No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, look. It says born March 7, 79, age 41 years, Rochester, New York. Oh my
God. That's him. He's in Rochester, and I'm see if you look right there, the credits.
Yeah, it says these are your credits, right?
No, Truth or Dare is his. I think all the ones to the left of his and the Kevin Kuwait's one.
Oh God, what a disaster.
Chris,
that's
you gotta change his name, bro.
I think maybe I'll tell him like change the picture, but keep his credits with mine. It looks like
there you go. Make it sound like something better is going on. Hey, we never real quick before we go. How was it with the whole sitcom thing that you did? How was that? Was it fun?
Oh yeah, it was
good times.
Surreal. It's just every moment was just incredible, and I never took it for granted. Like there were moments where they were filming and I was waiting in my dressing room and I just went out and watched. It was just incredible. It was so cool to see. It was huh?
And another thing that's interesting too is that a lot of people don't realize, and tell me if this is true. I mean, I did a couple of movies, but not a sitcom. But everyone I did was all this hurry up and wait, get there really early, and you're just sitting around, and then all of a sudden, like a monkey out of a cage, now you got to go out and perform and do it, and that's it.
They hurry you into the makeup chair. You get done, and you're sitting in your dressing room. Next thing you know, you're nodding out, and
right.
You don't want to lay down because your hair will be sticking out. But when they call you to set, but it's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah, people don't realize it's a lot of just waiting, and then when it's time to do it, you got to be ready to go. And it's kind of like, do I have a cup of coffee now at 7 a.m. where I'm getting my makeup, or am I going to be called in at 4:30 to shoot that scene?
Right.
I can't remember lines either. Like, were you able to remember all the lines, or was it easy, or they just kind of went with the flow of it?
I was afraid to forget lines. I was more being fairly new. I was to the show anyway. I've done other acting jobs, but that was my first like really strong recurring, and I was always afraid to drop a line in front of Kevin. Like, oh my God, I was just so I was made sure I was off book. But sometimes the lines would change like in the middle of the day. So,
but you have a good memory, able to remember the lines.
Yeah, well, it's all right, I guess. Yeah,
I'm not good.
You're right.
Yeah,
it's all right. All right. So we try to ask this all the time. What was your favorite toy growing up, Chris?
My favorite toy growing up, my parents said they would buy me all these toys and I would play with the pots and pans.
We never got that answer. The pots and pans.
We're trying to make those Marlamators or whatever.
That's about your favorite candy.
That's what wait. But again, in the 70s, I became hooked onto and my friends, we were doing the Micronauts.
Yeah.
Wow.
The interchangeable world of the Micronauts.
I'm shocked to hear that. That's not like in my radar at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Me neither.
Favorite candy.
Love the Big Wheel. Love the Blue Max, Green Machine. Favorite candy. I've always liked the I like the Marathon Bar. Do you remember the Marathon Bar?
No.
It wasn't my favorite. I remember it, but yeah, it wasn't my. Mine
was the Reggie Bar. Remember the Reggie Bar?
Reggie Bar was fantastic.
It was great.
Oh my God, it was just a round Baby Ruth, right?
Basically.
No, it was a round like nutrageous.
How about $1 million bar? The $1 million.
Yeah, I like that.
With Chris Roach stuff in there.
They still have the $1,000 bar, whatever it is, but the Reggie Bar, I remember orange wrapper, and it had nuts and peanuts, but
a lot of peanuts and nougat.
Nougat.
But I don't even know what nougat is.
Where it comes from.
Even to this day, my go-to for movies is Milk Duds.
Milk Duds.
Okay.
See, I always like chocolate covered almonds.
Oh yes,
I'm like Raisinets for me.
I love Hershey with almonds is really good.
Yeah.
What about your favorite sitcom or TV show growing up?
Oh wow, growing up, favorite TV show probably was Happy Days.
See, got the guy on the spot. He's right on the spot. He's really pulling it out right from the air.
Pulling that in there.
Please, loved Laverne and Shirley. There was certain. I remember, like, and my wife too. She says whenever MASH came on and you heard that theme, it was time for bed.
Yeah, you're right though. That came on like 9 o'clock and bedtime.
And it was such a somber song to go to bed to. Like, oh god.
It was on a Monday night too, if I'm not mistaken.
What was on after Laverne and Shirley? It was Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley. I'm trying to think what was on after that.
That's a good question.
Charlie's Angels, I think.
Oh, in the third grade, I remember going to school. I brought my Charlie's Angels trading cards.
There was trading cards for Charlie's Angels. Wow.
Trading cards. I was in love with Farrah Fawcett.
Who
was it?
You and everybody else. That poster was in everyone's bedroom. That one nipple was like,
point.
Oh,
and the $6 Million Man was getting a piece of that too.
I had that doll.
Yeah.
The $6 Million. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie as a kid? Ooh, probably Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. All right, that's cool.
Home run. And to this day, I could watch that. I still love it. And matter of fact, I watched a 2-hour documentary about the whole cast today on YouTube, where they are today and what they're doing. It's fantastic. It was great. And by the way,
he's like a vet, right? He's a veterinarian or something?
He's a veterinarian upstate New York and fixes horses and stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Nice guy, like a really regular too. But that new movie they made was not half as good as the old one.
Like when those movies are like, let's just say, okay, when the Charlie Brown Halloween episode came out and you knew it was going to air, it was like a big thing. Like everybody knew. Your friend knew to be in front of that TV set.
That's right.
Friday night, 8 o'clock is The Wizard of Oz. Everybody knew.
Wizard of Oz. I almost said Wizard of Oz when you said favorite movie, and I don't know why, but Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Squeak Back.
Oh yeah, Chitty
Chitty Bang. So those were the 3 go-tos on the holidays.
I had a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Matchbox car with them.
So did I, bro.
Came out the car.
The wings came out.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a Matchbox car. It was a little bit bigger than a Matchbox car.
Maybe it wasn't Matchbox then, yeah.
But I remember that the 66 Batmobile car and the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car I had.
I remember the Batmobile. Wait, the Batmobile was Matchbox, I think, wasn't it? Because when the wheels went, the fire thing in the back kind of moved.
I do remember that. Yes. Yeah.
That was. But you could buy the Batmobile regular, or you could buy it if it had a little Batman and Robin sitting in it.
Oh,
Corgi actually put them out.
I used to love the beginnings of Batman when you waited and at the last possible second of the intro, Batgirl would drive by. She's gonna be in this episode. Yes,
you're gonna love. You'll love this. Check this out. You ready?
How much?
Yeah, I know it's silly. I do it anyway.
Now, from the Batcave, from the exit of the Batcave to Gotham City, how many miles?
Oh, you know that?
I do.
Wow.
Oh,
they passed the sign every time they came out of the Batcave.
When they came out of the back, that thing would always blow down or blow up when they drove in and out.
Yeah. Actually, they use the same footage all the time. And the car, I read, just barely fit through that hole out of the cave. But how many miles? It said it right there. Gotham City, blank miles.
You're right. I wouldn't have remembered that.
Did the sign go down or something? Or
no, that was the horse, the roadblock that stopped you from going in there.
Oh, okay.
14 miles. 14 miles to Gotham City.
Wow.
What a fact you're pulling out over there. Wow. Wow.
I want to get that for the bottom of my driveway. Just put a post up that says 14 miles to Gotham City. So every time I come out of my driveway, it's like coming out of the Bat Cave.
Nice.
I watched Batman all the time. It was a great show.
I'm trying to get Burt Ward for the show, man. I'm trying
and
to
I
get
remember when they came out with the Batman movie. I went to the movies to see the 1.5 hour movie, and he was like in a boat, and he had all kinds of other cool stuff.
Bat boat.
Did he fight a shark?
I think
He did.
so.
He had the bat shark repellent.
Yeah, Robin.
Robin hung down backwards with his feet and handed him the shark repellent.
He's like, you always have to keep your shark repellent, chum.
Yeah.
Chum.
Old chum.
Old chum.
Oh, chum. That's it. So the best part in that is he's running along the boardwalk with the bomb, and he just looks at it. He goes, "Sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb."
Right.
I remember that one too.
They used to have, I think, when they were walking up the buildings, didn't they have like cameos? People would pop.
Yeah. They had Jerry Lewis and Sinatra, and
Sinatra would pop his head. Hey, it's Frank Sinatra.
You know what's so funny about that? Because they were walking straight, and they had their capes coming out stiff. And they were just pulling just walking on a wire. So the person coming out of the window was actually laying down, and he'd have to reach up and start talking like he was looking out the window, but he was really laying on his back.
Right, like those old bed scenes they filmed on TV where the bed was upright and the actors would be in the bed just upright talking. So So they filmed.
You know, it's funny. There's some young kids that grow up and became Einstein. And we remember how many miles it is to Gotham City.
Right? Somebody's working on the cure for cancer right now.
Right.
But doesn't know how many miles from the Batcave to Gotham City.
Right. But I want that little candy that the kid ate at the end of the show. And I want one of those. What was it called? The gobstopper thing. What was it called?
The everlasting gobstopper.
Thank you. He's like an idiot savant with that stuff.
Everlasting gobstopper. And my wife and I, when we got married, we had Oompa Loompas at our wedding.
Really?
We hired 2 Oompa Loompas, and my wife, she did. She got a bunch of chocolate bars, and she put gold stickers on the back of only a few of them. So if you got the Wonka bar with the gold sticker on the back, she made like 3 spa baskets. It was like,
is that right?
It was a movie themed wedding we had.
I was waiting to hear like you got to sleep with the little person. Like,
Right.
oh, you're my prize. I get to keep it.
When I tell you, baby, oh.
I mean, actually, you're not the. By the way, that's so politically incorrect today.
I know.
Here's a bunch of little people come to dressed up as Oompa Loompas at his party, and then all of a sudden the cancel culture comes and closes down the whole. Vegas.
My girl today, you're like this, honey. Where can I get Oompa Loompas? Where do you?
It was a movie themed wedding.
Yeah. What other movie? What other movie did you have?
We had a friend of mine dressed as Tim Curry's character in Rocky Horror Picture Show, and we did the time warp.
Oh my God!
We had somebody came out. Somebody came out in a chicken suit and did the chicken dance with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's a fun. It was a fun wedding.
Yeah. My wife did a good job. I gotta say.
I gotta be honest. My wife would have kicked my ass if I even suggested that.
What are you talking about? Didn't you on the air a couple of weeks ago told me about having White Castles at your wedding?
I did. I had White Castles. At the end, when everybody's drinking, and at the end, we had White Castles brought in.
Nice. That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
With 2 teeth. But no, it's really, it is really unique. I was at a party in New York City, and at the end they had Kentucky Fried Chicken, barrels of it out as he came out of this high-end $1 million party in New York City. I thought, wow, that was so cool. Pizza and chicken on the way out after eating like lamb and all this other fancy lobsters and stuff.
I went to
the question here, Chris. The question is, what did you and your wife dress as?
Just husband and wife. Really. Just, we didn't dress anything unusual, but they when we met with the person that was putting together the wedding from the out east, we're trying to think of the name of the place, East Wind Caterers. They said, all right, we'll have an ice sculpture, whatever you want, a swan. I'm like, anything I want. So,
Freddy Krueger,
Rodney Dangerfield. I have it up here. Rodney. Let me show you. Hold on.
I mean, this is cool stuff.
If this Rodney Dangerfield doll was not in front of the ice sculpture, you would have had no idea what it was. But I had this Rodney doll.
You're not going to believe I have that.
Hey, baby, I'll work it out, okay?
You press the button and it says stuff, right?
Yeah, I think he's broke, though. But
mine's broke also. I have one.
Behind him was the ice sculpture that looked like him. But if this wasn't in front of the ice sculpture, you would have had no idea what the ice sculpture was. It was like a block version of this. It looked like they hired
you're a
5-year-old.
I would have looked at it and said, wow, you're a Whalen Flowers fan?
A what?
That's what it looked like. Madam from
Wayland.
Madam's
It
place.
was Wayland Flowers, wasn't it? Wayland?
I was from
What did I say? Madam Flowers?
Yeah, Madam Flowers. It was Madam Flowers and Wayland. Wayland and Madam Flowers.
Wayland Flowers and Madam.
Madam.
Anybody easy should.
I don't know. I never liked that puppet. I wasn't into that puppet.
In what was it? In the 6th grade, in the Sears catalog, I circled the Lester doll, and I got the Lester doll.
Did you really? With a string in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have a signed Lester doll from himself.
Wow.
Here, we did a birthday party for him at the Friars, and he brought me as a gift. I have one here. It's one. I love those little cool things, you know.
Yeah.
Willie, Tyler, and Lester.
Yeah.
Good guy.
It came with a record and taught you how to do, like say the letter N instead of M, like little tricks, I guess. That
Right. Do you remember at one point? I think it was Post Cereal or Raisin Bran on the back, and there was a couple other ones too. They came out with records inside the actual cereal on a square piece of paper that you pull out the little, and it was a flippy floppy kind of piece of plastic. But if you put it onto a 445, it would actually play.
Dude, that was on the box.
Was it on the
actually on the box? You cut it off the box.
Yeah, and I think it was like Post Cereal, maybe it was Archie or something like that. Or
I put those on the Cool Crap page. There was like 3 of them.
That would be a good episode. Like some of the toys from the cereal boxes back then. They were great.
Yeah, there were some great toys in cereal boxes. We never did we could just do cereal boxes show it all. That's a fun thing.
Yeah,
too.
we did the cereals that time with the cartoons.
Yeah,
we never did the toys that were in the boxes. Although I don't really remember.
Yeah, there were some good ones.
You know what else was good toys? Those little stupid toys inside the popcorn and Cracker Jacks boxes.
Oh, I still get it.
Now it's nothing. Now it's nothing in there.
I know, but it's just cool. It was just like cool. You had this little piece of white paper, and you open it up, and it was like a
tattoo
comic book or something, you know.
But I gotta tell you, when my mother used to come home with the cereal box from like shopping on Friday night or Saturday, you'd open that box just to dig in there looking for that prize to pull it out before you even started eating it.
Yeah.
I had 2 brothers, and we'd fight over who stuck their filthy hand down the box to the bottom. Who stuck their filthy German hand down the box.
It's so funny about COVID times now, and back in those days, we were like, you could have just changed the rabbit cage, and you were in that box full. Nobody, we're clear-headed. Didn't matter.
My one brother and I would fight over who got to be the first one to put their finger into the brand new peanut butter jar. It was smooth on top. Who gets to break that delicious smoothness?
And then there was another thing too. Remember the peanut butter came out, and they put the jelly with the peanut butter.
Yeah, Goobers.
Yeah. And I remember telling my mom, "Oh, I want that one. It's already made." And she's like, "No, it's too expensive. Make your own."
Dude, that peanut butter is hilarious because I used to love to do that.
Yes.
Get that first scoop because it went right across that smoothness.
Like the chocolate in Willy Wonka's river, it was untouched by man.
Right, the ceiling fan that the bubbles shot them up there.
Oh,
he touched it. That's how Charlie got disqualified. Him and his paw went up with the bubble drink,
and they burped their way down.
Let me ask you a question when it comes to that movie. I was thinking about this. You remember at the very end of the movie, he comes in, he goes back, and he gives Mr. Wonka and he puts it back on his table, and he's like, "All right, thanks, but no thanks," because he's a bad guy, right? Well, and then he turns around and he goes, "Charlie, you won." And he's like, "What?" He goes, "You won. I was looking for a kid." Every time I seen it to this day, when I see that moment, it's a very nice moment, but every time I see that moment, I always think that when he first turned around, he was just only kidding because the kid thought he was such a dick that he just figured he was going to make it feel better. It always feels like it's not authentic for a moment. Is it me?
No, but after that, he goes, "I knew you could do it. I knew it."
Yeah, but it almost feels like, did he just say that because he was like really kind of feeling bad that the kid thinks he's an ass?
Right.
They don't want you to think that.
I know it's not the movie script, but I'm just saying, in my head, it always led me to that direction for some reason.
The ending where Gene Wilder went, "Nah, just kidding." Get out of here.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And then puts it in his mouth, and the movie ends.
Leave your
Thanks a lot, kid.
envelope cover at the door.
And take that old piece of crap with you too.
Who was the actor that played the old guy? Uncle
I have
Charlie?
no idea. Who is it?
He was in a bunch of Disney movies, right?
Come on, Chico and the Man, Jack Albertson.
Oh my God, that is right. It was him. Yeah, Chico and the Man.
Idiot Savant. Idiot Savant. Nice.
I told you this
Chico
show.
and the Man.
I finally get to use this knowledge for good, not evil.
Yes, for good. For who?
for Daniel Miller
Hey, for
and
Daniel
Charlie
Miller.
Fisher.
There you go. All right.
Well, anyway.
Oh yeah, there you go. Do you remember playing Willy Wonka slot machine? Yeah, that was great. The Willy Wonka.
Wow. Yeah, I remember seeing that. That's still out there, right? That's still out.
Awesome. Yeah, it actually.
Wow.
Oh yeah, there was also Banana Splits records running back at Cereal Box. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Banana Split. La, 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 la. All right, listen, we got to go. We're so over time here. We have to edit this thing and cut it all down. But
we got to thank
Bomb
Tech
anytime. And by the way, if you do plan on ever going golfing, the way
Bomb Tech is the new golf clubs.
It's really a great golf club. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you know it or not, but these golf clubs come from bombtechgolf.com.
Yeah.
If you want to actually hit a ball the right way, that's the way to do it.
These are awesome. They just don't sell them in the Middle East.
No slang.
Well, we're not huge in the Middle East. Hey, where can we see you, Chris? If we want to get you, where do we go?
I'll be here.
Thanks. What about your podcast?
There's no work, Peasy. Thanks.
Chris
What
Roach.
about your podcast?
No, I've done. Have any of you guys done? Well, John, have you done any of those outdoor shows, or Walt, you booking any outdoor shows?
Yeah.
No.
Great.
I just had some outdoor concerts that I booked.
I did one where it was at a diner, and we were pretty much the warm-up act for the drive-in movie. So when people sat in their cars and when they thought something you said was funny, they flashed their brights at you. That was unique.
Flashing your brights was a better term in the 60s and 70s than it is today, isn't it? Flashing your horns. Actually, there's a lot. This is a really weird time. Are you still doing your podcast?
Still doing both podcasts, the Long Island Explained. We cover topics exclusive to Long Island, like the Amityville Horror, Camp Hero, which was Stranger Things was based on. We've some interviews like Gary Pine, Adam Ferrara. Today we just did an episode on Lou Reed, Long Islanders, and
I love it. I didn't know this, and I didn't know about this, so I'm going to actually I download it and listen to it. I guess, and right where I know I could get you at chrisroachcomedy.com. But where do we get the podcast from?
The links are on there. And my other podcast, The Anxiety Sideshow, that's on there too.
And what's the Anxiety Sideshow about?
Just about dealing with anxiety, show business, performance anxiety, public speaking, stuff like that. Things that I had to overcome.
Okay.
Still trying to overcome.
And Chris, do we know where we can get in touch with the Chris Roach in Connecticut?
I don't know, but tell me he's got better hair than I do.
I heard he's a great guest. He's supposed to be a great guest. And by the way, he likes the same toys. So that's why.
Chris, thanks for coming on tonight, man.
Thank you, Chris. Anytime.
This was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you.
Too much fun. Stay well. And if you want to see him, it's at chrisroachcomedy.com. There he is. That's the way to get that guy. And you could get us where?
You can get us at youtube.com. Cool crap we loved.
And subscribe.
And also like us on Facebook.
Subscribe, like,
subscribe.
Have a good time. Tell us in the comments. Catch me over here at johnpeasy.com and jpeasyent.com. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Who do we have somebody next week?
Bobby Slayton. Bobby Slayton's going to come on and talk about the cool shit he likes too. All right, guys. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.